want to do this other video because I was talking with a friend of mine about a bad date that she had, and it just was perfect for marketing. So she went on a date with a fellow who was a chef, and he first thing that he says when they get together for the date, he said, I would have been here earlier, but and name dropped some celebrity, and I was like, but Will Smith canceled tonight, so it screwed everything up. And then throughout the rest of the evening, he proceeded to keep dropping names of celebrities and how many celebrities he knew and how many he'd eaten at his restaurant, how many he'd served at the probably the Toronto International Film Festival, and he just did that all night. And then at a certain point, he said he mentioned that he would go to Goodwill. He said, I go to Goodwill sometimes, and I just buy all their winter jackets and go and give them out to the homeless. And everything seemed so contrived and so so much effort to create an impression on her to like him. And it strikes me, there's this thing I talk about in my marketing workshops, that there's three potential kinds of clients. There's yes, maybe, and a no. And the yeses, as soon as they hear about what we're doing, they're into it. The maybes, they're on the fence, and the nos are definitely not going to work with us, almost certainly. And so when somebody's a yes, the thing we don't want to do is to keep trying to impress them, to keep trying to sell them, to keep trying to convince them, which is what he was doing. And the more he tried, the harder he worked to convince her and to name drop and show how well connected he was, but also how generous he was. The more turned off she became, and the more she leaned out. So if you are talking to somebody and they seem to be a yes for your business, stop trying to convince them. Stop trying to sell them. Stop trying to get them to believe that you're great. Just make it really easy for them to take the next step. When we first meet people, I think there's this thought that we want to be the most impressive possible. We want to create as much of an impression as possible, give a very firm handshake and all that. Another possibility is that we trust people, and we actually underperform a little bit in the first interaction. Imagine, for example, if he hadn't mentioned any of that, and she didn't even find out about any of that until 6 months in. Consider how much more impressive it would have been. So it's an interesting instinct to or maybe it's an instinct we have to fight, but it's an interesting thing to consider. Instead of saying more and trying to be more impressive, actually leaning back and kind of trying to fly under the radar a bit, and trusting that people are going to pick up on something if you've really got the goods there, to not try to be so impressive. If you met Steven Spielberg at a party and you say, what do you do for work? The answer you get would probably be something like, I'm trying to make it in the film biz, something like that. So consider actually trying to be less impressive, not more impressive. If somebody's already a yes, don't try to convince them anymore. Just make it easy. Make them an offer. Give them some free sample of what you do, and then let things go from there.